Jai Shri Ram, Hare Krishna, and welcome all of you all to our weekly Ramayan class. So we are discussing the Valmiki Ramayan. We're in the first chapter yet, and discussing in detail the various aspects of Ramayan and how we can apply it in our day-to-day life. So as usual, let's start with our salutations. Salutations to Ganesha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Kodi Samaprabha Nirvignam Kume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada गजानन भूत गणाधि सेविदम कपित जम्बू बलसार भक्षितम उमा सुतम शोक विनाश कारणम नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पाद पंकज Salutations to Sage Valmiki. Pujandam Ram Ramiti Mudram Maduraksharam Arugya Kavitam Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokinam. Valmiki Muni Samvasaya Kavita Vanacharinaha Srinvan Ram Kathanadam Konayati Param Gatim. Yapivan Satatam Ram Charitamrita Sagaram Atriptasam Munim Vande Prachitasa Kalmasham. Yavasayati Giriya Sadyasya Mahitale Tavat Rama Katha Lokeshu Pracharasya. Salutations to Hanuman. Pushpadikruta Varisam Maskikruta Rakshasam Ramayanam Mahamalam Ratnam Vande Valmiki Atmajam Vande Anil Atmajam Anjananda Veeram Janaki Shokanasanam Kapis Aksam Hantaram Vande Lanka Bhayankaram Manojama Martulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Patatmaja Vanar Yutham Mukyam Sri Ramadutam Sirsam Namami Yat Yat Raghunath Kirtanam Tatra Krut Masakanchilim Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutyam Namata Rakshasantakam Ullanda Sindhu Salilam Yatha Shok Vahim Janak Atmaje Adharaten Eva Dhala Lankam Namamitam Prananjali Anjaneyam Om Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarva Sampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamiham. So we started with the salutations to Lord Rama. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sri Sitapatiye Namaha Neelambuja Shamalam Komalangam Sita Samaropita Vama Bhagam Panus Mahashayak Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanchanath Ved Vedya Parepumsi Jatiya Dashrath Atmaje Ved Pracheta Dasida Sakshad Ramayanam Atmana Vaide Setam Sru Durmatale Haime Mahamandape Madhye पुष्पकमासे मणिमये विरासने सुष्टितम अग्रे वाचयति प्रभम जनसुते तत्वं मुनिभयं परम व्याख्यांतं भरत आदिभिः पवित्रं रामं भजे श्याम. So we have discussed up to verse number 43. So we will start from verse number 44 from this time. So we have already started describing about the Moola Ramayanam, which is giving you the benefit of the entire Ramayana. It is said one who recites the Ramayana gets the benefit of the entire Ramayana. Now we have come to the point, verse number 43. Yes, while Ramchandraji enters Chitrapur, and there he stays there under the guidance of Bharadwaj Muni, and then afterwards finally he reaches to sage Agastya, who gives him the bow of Indra, the sword and quiver, which has got inexhaustible supply of arrows. Well, Rama was dwelling in the forest. All the sages and the forest inhabitants approached him. They requested Rama to kill all the Rakshasas and Asuras. So the sages dwelling in the Dandakaranya forest, they all requested Rama, please save us. ये सब राक्षस हमको मार रहे हैं, so please save us from these rakshasas. In fact, when you go in detail, we'll see the full mountain of bones. And Ramchandra asks, what is this mountain of bones? He says, these are the bones of all the sages. They have been eaten by the asuras, and this is the mountains of bones which they have dumped over here. So finally, Ramchandra feels sad. There's an interesting pastime which I've heard from few acharyas. I'll tell you after a few minutes after we go ahead. So in 1.1.45, 44 and 45, Lord says, the Valmiki says, after listening to those lustrous sages who have been like blazing fire and also the inhabitants of Dandakaranya, Rama promised that he would kill all the demons in battle. Now, when you're reading the original and in detail the Ramayana, see, this Sanskrit Ramayana is just going super fast. I mean, it's just really Condensed means super condensed. But when you will go to the detail in Aranya Kandam and Kishkinda Kandam and all, those things are elaborately described over there. So यहाँ पे दो चीज, very prominent things are exhibited. First and foremost, Ramchandraji listens to all these sages and he says, yes, you are all troubled by these Rakshasas. I will definitely save you from these Ravana and these Rakshasas because they are troubling you too much. Now, that is the purpose of Lord's incarnation. The very purpose Lord incarnates is to save the people from bad. He wants to save the devotees from the bad people. So that's why it is said, in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, Lord says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat. So whenever there is glani in dharma, glani means there is a downfall in dharma. Lord says, Srajamyaham, I incarnate. So when Ramchandraji was in Dandakaranya, I'll tell you a very interesting story. All the sages, I mean, it's not mentioned in the Ramayana, but I've heard from Acharyas, but it's very interesting. So all the Acharyas, I mean, all the sages, they used to say that Ramchandraji is so happily living with his wife over here. I mean, it's a perfect household life he's living. Why not? We also live here. We also get married. It is very simple to find a wife in the jungle. How? See, Ramchandra ji ने सिर्फ पत्थर पे पैर डाला और वो स्त्री बन गई. They are referring to Ahilya, who was in the form of a stone. Not as a stone, but in the form of a stone. उसको पर पैर रखा और वो नारी बन गई. तो हम भी अच्छा अच्छा पत्थर लेके आएंगे. We'll get good stones. Ask Lord Ramchandra ji to keep his foot on it, and each stone will become a nice lady, and we'll live happily like Ramchandra ji. See, his wife is taking care of him, and it's like cool life. So Acharyas say that when Ramchandra ji saw these sages are now planning to get married, they want to become grahasthas, it is not good. So immediately what he did, he got Sita kidnapped. And then what the sages saw, Ramchandra ji crying, hey Sita, hey Sita, hey Sita. So all the sages decided, no Baba, it is better we are alone. We don't want to get married. So I mean, it's nothing, as I told you, it's not mentioned the Ramayana. It's just a power of the devotees, especially the sages of Ayodhya. And they say that Ramchandra deliberately did this to discourage the sages to get involved into material life, rather focus on the spiritual. So here, when Ramchandra gives a promise, yes, don't worry, I will save you from the Rakshasas. Sita Maya was listening. And Sita Maya said, let me check whether my husband's determination is true. And there are too many intricate points at this juncture. She asked him, why do you think, or how do you think you're going to save these people from the Rakshasas? First and foremost, why? You are not the king. Who is the king? Bharata is the king. You are just in exile. So why you want to exhibit your powers? And secondly, you're in exile means what? You are supposed to live a life of an ascetic. Why you want to involve in warfare and kill those Rakshasas? At time Ramchandra says, see, I am a son of the Ishkwaku dynasty, so I have to save all these people. They have surrendered unto me. One who surrenders unto me, I will definitely save. Secondly, she says there is no direct enemy between you and the Rakshasas. The Rakshasas are troubling the sages. They are not troubling you. Why you want to save? Why you want to kill the Rakshasas? And then she goes to one step ahead, actually to give a very important lesson to all of us. The lesson is, she tells a story. Once Indra saw a sage doing very nice devotion, serious devotion. So he goes and he wants to break. Whenever someone does tapasya, Indra's only focus is to break his tapasya. Why? He's afraid if he does very good tapasya, he'll get the post of Indra and he will be jobless. He'll be thrown out of post. And everyone loves power and post, right? Nobody wants to leave. So immediately Indra tries to break his penance. So one of his style, in when Vishwamitra was doing, he sent Menaka and he sent Ramba. So many things happen. So in this case, he sends. He doesn't send anyone. He comes himself in the form of a small prince, and he carries one sword, and he gives the sword to the sage, and he tells him, "See, I'm going to take bath in the river. You just take care of the sword for some time. I'll just go take my bath and come back. Then I'll take my sword back and I'll go." The sage said, "Fine, you can keep the sword here." So he kept it beside him, and the sage was busy in his penance. Indra went away from there. He did not come back to take his sword. And that was his plan. Indra was, the sage was wondering, "Hey, morning this fellow has come and kept the sword and he has not yet come to collect it. Now it's my responsibility to take care of it. Fine, it is already evening. Now what do I do? Okay, I'll take the sword with me, keep it with me for some time. And then next morning, tomorrow morning, again I'll get the sword. It might be he'll come tomorrow to collect it." So he keeps it over with him, takes it home. Next day brings it. Again, nobody has turned back. So it was a couple of days he was taking it back and coming back. Chal raha tha. 4-5 din. And one day while coming from his hermitage to the place where he used to sit and do his penance, he was carrying the sword. He was just swirling the sword, just like how a king would swirl. Just imagine someone gets a gun in the hand, he will hold the gun in all various positions. It's quite natural. It's instinctive. So he was holding the sword and he was just playing with it. Suddenly he saw, wow, once swipe, and many trees, many leaves and flowers from the tree fell down. But wow, it's very nice. I can use it to cut fruits. So he started using the sword to cut fruits from pluck fruits from the tree. Slowly, slowly, he got addicted to that sword. Everything he started doing with the sword. Cutting vegetables, whatever he fruits, everything. So धीमे 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 उसकी आसक्ति उस sword में बढ़ती गई. He started going attached to the sword. Finally, a day came when he started to use this sword to terrorize people. And finally, in a few years, he turned out to be a daku, a dacoit. So Sita Maya tells this story to Ramchandraji to say that, of course, when we come to that, I'll tell you all the details about that. There's a lot of things. She says men have got few bad qualities, but out of that, you don't have those bad qualities. But one quality is there, and then she talks about this. She says, you are always keeping this bow with you. And last week I described, his bow is always ready to fire. Why? What did I explain? Anyone remembers? Come on, tell me fast. किसको याद है? किसी को याद नहीं? My God, rate of evaporation is very high today. I know it's time. हाँ.
डिवोटी को बचाने के लिए कि तुरंत टाइम वेस्ट ना हो.
He didn't want to delay even a minute. He says, if I remove the bow string, and I loosen it, it will take time for me to again tie the bowstring, load the arrow, and then fire. And my devotees, when they are crying for my help in distress, in 1 second, I'm always in a position to save. तो इसके लिए कहा जाता है रामचंद्र जी always carries this bow, always 24 hours. He is ready in action. कब पता नहीं कौन सा भक्त तुमको बुला ले मदद के लिए और कब जाके उसको मदद के लिए भागना. So she says, you are carrying this bow with you. Like this sage, one day you are getting this propensity to kill people because of this. And that is where Ramchandra says, no. My incarnation, very purpose of my incarnation is to save all these sages from the atrocities of the asuras. And that is one of the reason Acharyas say that Sita Maya got kidnapped. Tomorrow, Sita Maya should not say, you are fighting Ravana for nothing. I have a reason to fight. To protect my wife, to get my wife, I'm getting this war. I'm fighting this war and killing Ravana. Otherwise, no, it's always said Sita Maya is very merciful. You must have all heard about the story in Chitrakoot, where Indra's son Giant comes in the form of a crow to test who is this really, are they God? And then he comes to put his with his beak, he injures Sita Maya's chest. And Ramchandra was lying on his lap, on her lap. And immediately when he sees blood coming out, he gets angry. So there are many places we see Ramchandra exhibits his power of godliness. But still, he tries to hide it as much as possible because the condition given by Ravana was it has to be a Naralila. Only a human being or a monkey can, or a banara or a bears, they can attack me. No one else can defeat me. So they had to play this big lead. So going to verse number 46. While residing in Dandakaranya forest, there was a demoness named Surpanaka. She was a resident of Janasthana, which was a part of Dandakaranya forest. She could take any form which she desired and was disfigured by Rama. Now here, there is a very big question mark. We all know who disfigured Surpanaka? Who put the sword and cut the nose and ears? It was Lakshmana. Yes, it was Lakshmana. It was not Rama. But this shloka says that Rama did it. How come Rama did it? It is said, suppose. So it's very simply explained. The explanation I've given very easily that since it was under the instruction of Lord Rama, Lakshmana did. But to understand this very practically, if you kill someone with the gun, who's punished or whom the police will catch? The gun or one who fired the gun? Definitely one who fired the gun and not the gun. They can't put the gun to the gallows. They'll put the fellow who has fired to the gallows. Or rather to go one step ahead, they will try to find out who was the person who hired him to kill him. So they go back to the root. So in this way, if we go that yes, though Lakshmana had cut, so you can say the sword cut, but the sword was run by Lakshmana. But who instructed Lakshmana to do that? It was none other than Lord Ramchandra. This incident is very important. You have to understand one important factor over here. Why this entire Surpanaka's incident happens. Surpanaka was, the name itself is very beautiful. Some girls have got a habit of having long names. I'm putting artificial nails also. Don't worry, you're all Surpanakas, those who are having artificial nails. Surpanaka means who had got long nails. Naka means nails. Beautiful nails, but long nails. Rakshasi wale Nakun. So it is said that Surpanaka actually came to see who are these two young men in the forest. The minute she saw Lord Ramchandra, she developed a desire towards Lord Ram. This is common. It is said all the sages of Dandakaranya, all the trees, every being somewhere or the other is attracted towards the beauty of God. Because we all come under the Prakriti, we don't come under Purusha. In human life, you may say, if there's a male, there's a female. That is the gender of the body. The soul doesn't have any gender. For the soul, there is no gender. So it is only an ansha of the Lord, and that is why, by default, is attracted towards God. The name itself, Krishna, means one which attracts. Rama, Ramaiti iti Rama, that which gives you pleasure. So God is one who gives you true pleasure and happiness. Rest all are sense pleasures, which is through the sense organs, you take that so-called pleasure, and it is not for a long time, it is only for a short time. So it's said that when Surpanaka was attracted towards Lord Ramchandraji, she went directly to Ramchandra. Said, I'm madly in love of you. I mean, words were very nice. Some people say, Acharya has described. She said, you are first and foremost, I am very, very beautiful. She had changed her form and gone. She was a Rakshasi. So she changed her form and she said, I am very beautiful. You are still not at par with me, but still I accept. बोलते हैं ना, कोई लोगों का आदत होता है, आपका उतना कुछ खासियत नहीं है, आप इतना कुछ खूबसूरत नहीं हो, बट ठीक है, चला लेती हूँ. रामचंद्र जी से अच्छा है, ये चलाने वाला. Ramchandra was also very clever. She said, hey, okay, you go and please go to my brother, कुंवर है. मेरा क्या है, I have already got my wife with me. He doesn't have a wife. So he is free. You please approach him. She also had a second thought, saw Lakshmana. Lakshmana is none other than Sheshnag, who was also having the same personality. Quite a good, handsome personality. She said, chalo, theek hai. What's wrong? I'll go and get married with that film. So she goes. And Acharyas say, Lord is Lord and Sheshnag is Guru Tattva. So Lakshmana is Guru. So the implication is, if one is attracted towards God, कोई भगवान के प्रति किसी को आकर्षण हो जाता है, तो उसको जब भगवान के पास जाके भगवान से मिलने का या भगवान से जुड़ने की कोशिश करता है, if someone tries to attach himself with God, connect himself with God, immediately God sends a guru in his life, a teacher in his life, a mentor in his life, and जैसे ही वो गुरु जीवन में आ जाता है, you go to the guru. And that's what Surpanaka also went. But Surpanaka had a different attitude. She said, no, I've come to marry you. Lakshmana said, see, I am the servant of my elder brother. Now, if you get married, you will also become a servant. तू भी काम वाली बन जाएगी. मैं तो पूरा मेहनत करता हूँ, सब बर्तन वर्तन धोता हूँ, कपड़े उठाता हूँ, धोता हूँ, ये करता हूँ, वो करता हूँ, तो तुझे भी ये सब करना पड़ेगा. एक काम कर, उससे अच्छा मालिक से शादी कर ले, मालकिन बन के. She said, okay, fine, that's also a good suggestion. She goes back to Lord Ramchandra. Ramchandra again sends back to Lakshmana. So this carom board, she gets irritated. क्यों? जल्दी से कुछ पाना है मुझे. That's the human mentality, right? इतने में सीता मैया आई, बोली ये मुसीबत का जड़ है, ये खत्म कर देता. And that is what we also do now. Try to give solution to problems very easily. Immediately, Ramchandra just gives an glance to Lakshmana, and Lakshmana immediately chops off her nose and ears. What does this mean? Whenever a person is attracted towards God, God sends him to a guru. And when you go to a guru, guru sends him to God back again. That is why there is a very beautiful shloka from the Chaitanya Charitamrita where it says, Brahmand Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan ji, Guru Krishna Prasad Paye Bhakti Lata Beach. कहते हैं ब्रह्मांड में भ्रमण करने के बाद ब्रह्मांड ब्रह्मित कौन भाग्यवान है जी, हु इज दैट वेरी लकी सोल. हम लोग सब कहते हैं वी आर लकी, आई गॉट माय एडमिशन, आई गॉट अ जॉब, आई गॉट मैरिड. Luck means we think, what is the actual definition in the material world of luck? That which you have got when you are not fit for or you did not aspire for. Suddenly मिल गया, बस मैंने अप्लाई किया और मुझे मिल गया. So you had no hopes, but you got it. But Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Brahmanda Brahmite कौन भाग्यवान है? Who is that जीव who is really lucky? कौन है वो जीव जो सबसे lucky है? What is the Hindi word for that? Lucky. भाग्यवान is the Sanskrit word, but it's in Hindi में भी भाग्यवान बोलते हैं ना, मतलब जो भाग से अधिक पा लिया उसको.
भाग्यशाली.
Bhagyashali. Okay. So what does this mean? See, Lord is trying to say, Guru Krishna Prasad Paye. He gets two. Some people, they bypass Guru. Direct Krishna. बीच में कोई agent ही नहीं. They treat Guru as an agent. No. You need to be guided to a Guru properly. That is why it is said, Guru Krishna. दोनों मिलता है. और दोनों का मिलने का क्या फायदा है? What is the prasad you get? Rasgulla. What do you get? Motichur laddu. What do you get? No. Guru Krishna prasad पाए भक्ति लता बीज. भक्ति का एक छोटा सा लता मतलब क्रीपर, उसका बीज मिलता है. उसको सींचना पड़ता है. श्रवणम और कीर्तनम से उसको सींचना पड़ता है. You have to nurture it, feed it, and make it free. So, doing devotion is your job. It is no one else's job. Many people come and tell me, हम भगवान से प्रार्थना किए, हमको थोड़ा भक्ति दे दो. अरे भक्ति करने वाली चीज है. Nobody can give you भक्ति. भक्ति तो आपको करनी है. मतलब you don't want to take any efforts. आपको रेडीमेड भगवान आपको भक्ति दे दे, बस मैं तो आराम से रहूंगा. No, it's not possible. You got to do your devotion, and devotion means when you got to do something means you got to put your efforts. थोड़ा मेहनत करना पड़ेगा. आप मेहनत नहीं करोगे तो आप भक्ति नहीं कर पाओगे. जीवन में कुछ भी नहीं कर पाओगे. भौतिक चीज के लिए भी मेहनत करना पड़ता है ना. सुबह उठ के ऑफिस भागना पड़ता है, कॉलेज जाना पड़ता है. So many things you have to do. Then only you can achieve something in life. Life is always tough, hardworking, running here and there. Everything is there. Fine, agreed. But to do, when you have to do to achieve something material, so to achieve something spiritual also, you have to do some efforts. If you don't put efforts, you cannot achieve anything in life. That is why, what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying? Guru Krishna Prasad Paye Bhakti Lata Beej. You just get the seed of bhakti. Rest is your job. अभी वो seed को आपको संभाल के रखना है. You want to nurture it. You want to just crush it. You want to just don't want to, if you don't water the seed will die. Now many people, they come and tell, bro, आपका Zoom lecture है तो बताओ. I will come on the Zoom lecture. I am very busy to come to a practical lecture, a physical lecture. Craziness. Who are the losers? They are the losers. They are the losers. लक्ष्मण ने बोल दिया भाई रामचंद्र के पास जाओ. रामचंद्र ने बोला लक्ष्मण के पास जाओ. ये दोनों ने मिलके क्या करना है? पाने का एक तरीका होता है. You can't just go and say, I will take God directly. No, it's not possible. I have achieved God directly. I have got a shortcut to achieve God, or I will just start doing my devotion service my own way, my own whimsical way. It doesn't work. Everything has to be done by a standard procedure. You can't concoct your own procedure and do things your own way. So that is why here this has got a lot of significance and relevance with respect to disfiguring Surpanaka. But of course, there are many more points to be discussed. I'm just going through as it is Moola Ramayan, Samkshik Ramayan, I'm just doing the Sankshep of that prasanga. When we'll go to that prasanga, when we'll go to that incident, we'll discuss in detail. In the battle, Lord Rama killed all the demons who were incited by Surpanaka's words, including Khara, Dushan, Trisara, and others foot followers. So how many Rakshasas had come? Does anyone have an idea? First, Surpanaka was disfigured. She didn't go to Ravana. They had a base camp in Janasthana, very close to Nasik. आज भी वो जगह है नासिक. Nasik means what? नाक सिक गया, कट गया. That is why the place got the name Nasik. आज भी वहां पे सुर्पनखा का मंदिर है. Mandir, but the place where it is said it went and fell on the other side of the Godavari river, the beautiful river. So, what was my question? How many soldiers, how many Rakshasas had come to attack Ram and Lakshmana when Surpanaka went and complained to her brother Khara and Dushan? And
14,000.
14,000. 14,000, perfect. 14,000 Rakshasas came. And 14,000 Rakshasas came to attack. And what did Ramchandraji do? He told Lakshmana, please take Sita Maya to the cave nearby and keep her safe. You just guard her. I will take care of these people. At this point itself, Lord had exhibited his godly powers. Is it possible for 14,000 Rakshasas to be killed single-handed? It's not possible. For any human being or any hero, it was only possible by God. And Lord killed all the entire 14,000 Rakshasas, Lord killed. And there are many reasons why Lord said, no, take my wife and keep her, no, take care of her. Lakshmana said, no, wait, you go, bhaiya, I'll take care of them. But he said, no, Lakshmana, I will only take care of them. You take Sita Maya and go and sit in protect her in a cave nearby. Acharyas say that Sita Maya is very, very merciful. Biggest fear what God has got, that? What is the biggest fear God always suffers with? भगवान को भी डर है कब आके एक जीव मेरा शरणागत कर लेगा उसको बचाना पड़ेगा. What if someone comes and surrenders? Because Lord has already said, Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, my devotee will never perish. My devotee means what? One who is surrendered. Not just one who is applying tilak and shaving his head off and wearing a kurta and dhoti and wearing a kanti mala. No, that's all in 1,000 rupees हो जाता है आज में. Branded लेंगे तो भी 1,000-1,500 में काम हो जाता. Branded kanti mala, branded kurta, branded dhoti and all that हो जाएगा 1,500 में काम हो. So that is an external change. One who is internally changed will truly exhibit his surrender to God. So always Lord Ramchandra is afraid. If the Rakshasas are surrendered, if they surrender to Sita Maya से नहीं छोड़ दो. क्यों? थोड़ा दिन पहले जयंत को छोड़ना बोला. The crow which hit her breast, injured her breast, उसको भी शरणागति. क्यों? The crow, Jayant came back after running to all the places, all the lokas, and everyone said, sorry, we can't help you. Go and fall at the feet of Lord. This crow came and it scrambled and fell. It fell upside down. Its legs up. Just imagine a crow falling down upside down, leg up, which is an insult. Bhagwan ko pair dikhana galat hai. But he didn't know how to surrender. Scrambled and he fell down. So Sita Maya said, see, such an innocent person, he doesn't know how to surrender also. You should forgive. Ramchandra said, you want me to forgive this idiot? Yes. Say, so innocent. Yes, come and surrender to your feet. And he says, yeah, I've already shot the Brahmas. Okay, at least take away one eye of this crow. Because with this bad eye he saw, no? So take his eye off. That is how it is said. Even crows till today have got only one eye. They don't, but they can move their eyes both the sides. No? They have actually crow has got one eye, but it moves both the sides with one eye very fast. तो आपको पता नहीं चलता एक आंख है या दो आंख कौवे को है एक ही आंख, but it moves shuttles between the two eyeballs to the eye slots very fast. So coming back to this Leela where Lord kills all 14,000 Rakshasas and then he comes back. Typical hero entry. He's wounded. इधर थोड़ा लगा है, इधर खून लिखता है. How in filmy hero he comes, यहाँ से खून बह रहा है. And what does the heroine do? What does the heroine do? Comes and embraces him, right? आजकल तो एक स्टेप आगे भी जाता है पिक्चरों में, इसलिए डर लगता है. But at least the first thing is the heroine comes and the hero. Done a great heroic task. Here Ramchandraji has killed 14,000 Rakshasas. Sita Maya thinks, what price should I give him? But this is what Sri Sampradaya Acharyas say. Govindaraj Swami gives a very nice sing on this. She says, my father has already given me to him. Now, what else more can I give? My father has already given me to him. So what else more can I give him? She says, the least I can do is I can embrace him. And there the Acharya say, embracement means what? Sita means what? One who has come from soil. धरती से निकली थी, सीता मैया धरती से निकली थी ना, सीत में से निकली. So what does this mean? She has got all the herbal powers. In the earlier days, I mean, today we got this allopathy medicines, chemicals we dump in, but पहले क्या था? सब जड़ी बूटी से इलाज होता था. So the earth carries all these, what do you say, herbs, and these herbs is supposed to be personification inside Sita Maiya's body, because she's got from the earth. She's Bhumi Devi. So she goes and embraces him. So all his wounds go. And do you think God gets wounds? God can ever get wounds? His body is Satchitananda. Yes, for the worldly people, he just takes some so-called body and shows. And yes, I have. It was a laborious task. Lord, when he comes in the Varaha Rupa, Lord fights. Big fight is given. Bhagavatam describes a beautiful fight. And all the demigods are watching. And all were, sab log pareshan. All were in tension. It was like last over India-Pakistan match. Last, 7 balls and 7 runs to get. Very tough. And everyone is nail-biting finish is going on over there. And Lord also takes fun. First and foremost, there's a very nice dialogue exchange. Dharmendra says, "Kutte, मैं तेरा खून पी जाऊंगा," and all that stuff. Same type of dialogue. Varadev also tells Hiranyaksh. He tells, yeah. He said, I was waiting. He calls him, "You are a sewer. You're a wild boar." He says, "Yes, I'm a wild boar. I have been waiting for Grama Singh like you." The word looks very nice. Sanskrit is very, very nice and polite language. Grama Singh. गांव का सिंह. गांव का सिंह होता कौन है? Dog. He says, Grama Singh. He says, "You dog, I was waiting for you." I mean, that's what dialogue he hits actually. And then there's a fight going on. And the fight is very, very imbalanced fight. I still remember the movies of the 70s. The ending used to be a cliff fight. That was a fight between the hero and the villain on the top of a cliff. And many times you will feel the hero is going to fall down from the cliff. But he doesn't fall. That's the hero, right? Same way, Lord also fights with Varadev also fights with Hiranyaksh. And many times Hiranyaksh punches and Lord falls down. 2-3 times his mace. गधा था ना वो क्या? गधा भी गिर गया. And everyone, like, whenever he falls down, whenever there is a, Lord receives a punch, he falls down. All the devatas standing up and watching Lord's fight. They say, "Ah, my God, what will happen?" They're all tensed up. One ball goes for a duck. How you all react? One ball gone for a duck. Only 6 balls, 7 runs. 2 ball gone for a duck. Oh my God! Now we got to make 7 runs in 5 balls. So that's how Lord also creates some climax. And finally, how did Lord kill Hiranyaksh? Varadev kill Hiranyaksh? Any idea? Yes, Aarti Mataji, tell me, how did he kill him?
One punch.
प्रभु जी एक स्लैप ही मारा उन्होंने उससे. नहीं प्रभु जी, he just
Finally one थप्पड़ मारते हैं, एक punch मारते हैं.
अपने tusk
Side of his hand.
अच्छा
On
ऐसा.
the front hand also, he gives a backhand.
Yes.
And just a touch. Just a touch. That's why we always call it the first eye touch was done by Lord Varadev. Not even, he didn't give a slap with the front hand, okay? Like, Lord just takes a flip, just a backhand flip, and that's it. Hiranyaksh is over. Here in Ramayan, Lord Rama tells, Sugriva, when Vibhishan comes for Sharanagati, everyone says, no, party ka, samne wala party ka chal rahega. He's a crooked man. He's a brother of Ravan. He may do anything, Everyone advises Ramchandraji. He may be a spy. He has come to spy us. When in the night when we will sleep, he will kill all of us. N number of explanations people give. Ramchandraji coolly listens. Okay. He says, okay, you all love me. You're on my side, so you're talking for my benefit. I have no problem. But then he says, he has come to surrender. And if he comes to surrender, do Sharanagati, I have to give him surrender. And then when all the Sugriv, Angad, everyone gives their own explanation. And finally Hanuman says, nahi chalega, I've seen him do devotion. See, I have already decided to give him Sharanagati. Lord says. And don't think I'm going to kill him by your help. I can kill anyone in this world, the whole world I can eliminate just by the tip of my small finger of my left hand. Okay, the agra bhag, front tip. उससे अगर मैं just ऐसा उंगली घुमाऊंगा ना, the whole world, even talk about Ravana and the entire Asura army, the whole world can be over. But still, I am taking all of you all because you all love me and you all want to serve me. But don't think no one can surpass me. That's one place where again he shows his Bhagavata. Various places where Lord Ramchandra shows how great he is. He's real God. So similarly here, when Surpanaka incites Khara, Dushan, Trisara, they are all killed along with the 14,000, entire 14,000 Rakshasas were killed. But one, Anukampan, naam ka ek Rakshas bach jata. We will discuss later on when we are in the Aranyakand. And there, this one Rakshasa who survives, he first goes and reports Ravana. Surpanaka doesn't go first. Surpanaka goes later. And one who studies the Ramayana fully understands this. Otherwise, people generally come, oh, Surpanaka went and told Ravana. Anukampan went and told him. He was not bothered. He was further incited by Surpanaka. And that is why he was incited. He was interested not in Ramchandraji, not in taking revenge of his sister. He was only and only interested in the beautiful Sita. That's why he came to only kidnap Sita. He was not worried. इतना डरा हुआ था कि उसको किसी और को लेके आना पड़ा as a bait. He bought Marich, the form of a deer. पे आएगा आगे. So during his stay at the forest, Lord Ramchandra killed 14,000 demons, those who those who were inhabitants of Janasthana. When Ravana learned that his cousins were slaughtered, he fainted in anger. गुस्सा आया और इतना जोर का कि वो बेहोश होकर गिर गया. Here you must say, Prabhuji, he sought assistance from the demon named Maricha. Yes, but again understand, this is Sankshep Ramayana. Just whole thing को अगर 100 श्लोकों के अंदर the whole first chapter has to end, means कितना संक्षेप रहेगा सोचो. Otherwise, the entire Ramayana takes 24,000 shlokas to explain. So it's highly edited and compressed. So the significance of Rama name is Ravayati iti Ravana. I have already explained this 2-3 lectures before. What is Ravana? Ravayati iti Ravana. One who cries and who makes others also cry by his actions. So, of course, there is another interpretation that he is Vishrava's son. That is why it is called as Ravana. So, Maricha tries to stop Ravan repeatedly. He told Ravan that enmity with the mighty Lord Rama is not good for him. Many a times लोग हमको एडवाइस देते कि भाई वो मत करो. बट वो एक कहावत है ना, विनाश काले विपरीत बुद्धि. When it comes to a bad time, your buddhi goes, your buddhi doesn't work in the right direction. Even though you are advised correctly, you do not do that. This is what happened in case of Ravan. Maricha is telling him, my dear Ravana, मैं तुम्हारा मामा हूं. I am telling you for your own good. मैं खुद उससे मार खा के आया. I've already mentioned once, very casually, some Some people just jokingly say. Now, whether it's true, I don't know. There is no authentic mention in the Ramayana, but it is said that when Ramchandraji, when he went to kill Tataka, that time he killed Tataka, but he did not kill Marich. Why? He knew Marich had a role to play later. So he fired a blunt arrow, and the arrow threw Marich in a place called Mauritius, which is called as Mauritius. Just said, though there is no authentic statement even from Mauritius government. Don't worry, but it is said it was through him so far. So he knew very well Ramchandraji's powers kya hai. He knew Ramchandraji was none other than God, and that is why he was warning Ravan, please don't. But Ravan gave him a final ultimatum. So you have to only lure him and take him away. If you don't do that, I'm going to kill you. At that time, Acharya say, Maricha says, it's better to die in the hands of God than to die in your hand. In Ravan जैसे गधे के हाथ में क्यों मरना है मुझे? Rather, I would die in the hands of Lord Ramchandra. That is why he accepts the proposal. But n number of warnings he gives. I mean, there is another story where Marich goes again to revenge his, when he was thrown out by Lord Rama, and then he comes as a wild bull and he tries to attack him. Again, Ramchandraji, shoos him away. And this Maricha tells Ravana, मैं दो बार जाके आया, आप देख मैं यहाँ बैठ के साधु बन गया हूँ. I'm just chanting the name of Lord, and still you want to fight Ramchandraji. I have tried and tested his strength, and I know who he is. But still Ravana. एक बहुत अच्छा श्लोक है भगवद गीता में. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसा संगस्ते सुप्रजायते संगत संजायते कामात् कामात् क्रोधो विजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहः स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो प्रणश्यति. What does Lord say? भगवद गीता Lord clearly says, भाई एक बार एक चीज सिर पे चढ़ गए ना, बस मुझे वो पाना है उसको. At any cost I want to get that. That time उस व्यक्ति कुछ नहीं कर सकता. क्यों? दिमाग में बैठ गया. ध्याय तो विषयान, वो उसी चीज के बारे में. He was always contemplating on Sita. Ravan was only contemplating on Sita. किसी भी तरह मुझे सीता को पाना है. If I don't get Sita, I will not get sleep. And hook or crook, I want her. And that was his focus of life. He was not focused on killing Rama, fighting Rama. He was not bothered about it. He knew in the heart of heart, why should I break my head on a thing? My thing of attraction is Sita. So let's understand very clear. Ravan was warned again and again before he did this act. But in spite of Maricha warning him, Ravan was not bothered. Take any heed to that. That impostor Marich took both Ram and Lakshman away to a great distance when Ravana kidnapped Rama's wife and killed the vulture Jatayu. So I'll just discuss a small about Jatayu's relevance in Ramayana. Very, very important. And how come Lord Ramchandra ji did the final rites for Jatayu, but he did not do the final rites of his father. So there's a very nice, interesting story behind it. Listen to that. Once it so happened that Dashratha was given to understand by his astrologers, his so-called court astrologers. Bhai, Shani is now going to enter every country has got its own chart. So as per the astrological sign, Shani is going to enter into Rohini Nakshatra. And for that, you will have 12 years of Akal. 12 saal Akal. This is 12 years Akal. My God, that's not good. And Dashrath was one who was to fight for the demigods. So, uska to acha relation tha. Immediately takes his chariot. I'll just see how Shani does. How Shani can think about doing this with me, at least with my country. My people should not suffer. immediately takes the chariot, goes up, and there when Shani Maharaj के सामने पहुंच जाते हैं, he says, "You are doing something very bad. Stop it, and I'm going to punish you for this." And he starts firing arrows. Shani Maharaj did not do anything. He was coolly sitting. He just lifted his eyes half. No, Shani Maharaj never sees straight. Just lifts half. He saw his chariot, and this chariot got burnt in a minute. And now Dashrath was mid-air. Was he had gone with his chariot. The chariot to jal chuka tha. तो अब गिर रहा है नीचे. He started falling. That time it is said Jatayu was related to Garuda. He came and saved Dashrath Maharaj by taking him in his back. And then they both became very good friends. And I'm sure most of you all must not be knowing. Jatayu asked Dashrath, why you are fighting with Shani Dev? He said, I'm not fighting with Shani Dev. He's going to enter the Rohini Nakshatra. When once he enters, what will happen to my country? 12 years of Akal, everyone will die, this and that. Immediately he tells, okay, you think you can kill Shani, you can fight Shani like this? No. Then you do a stuti for him. And then he will definitely save you. Then there is this, you can Google it also. YouTube also it is there. Dashrath Krit Sanishchara Stotra. Very, very powerful. Dashrath Krit Sanishchara Stotra. Immediately Dashrath compiles this stotra and reads it to Shani Dev. And it said Shani Dev becomes so happy. He said, okay, I will not enter Rohini Nakshatra. I will not create any problem for your country. Even today, those who have got problem because of Shani Dev, Shani Nakshatra. Now again, April 29th, Shani Dev is going to move from his position. He and Rahu both are going to move. So there's going to be a lot of political, national, international up-downs. काफी होने वाले. It creates a lot of uthal-puthal, what you call as and downs. So it is said even today, if you are got a lot of problem in your chart, your horoscope of Shani, one who reads this Dashrath Krit Sanishchara Sutra, he gets relief from those ill effects of Shani Dev. Shani Dev gives you a discount and saves you. So इसके लिए that's how Dashrath became a good friend of Jatayu. So already it's 6. You want me to continue the story of Jatayu or we'll speak next time? क्या लगता है आप लोगों? Late हो रहा है तो we'll have it next time.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, ये जटायु वाली कहानी प्लीज कंप्लीट कर दीजिए.
अच्छा.
If possible.
Yeah, it's okay with everyone. It's okay for me. So Jatayu became very good friend. So now the king, meeting a vulture, though it was a big, huge bird, but he could not meet the vulture. So they used to meet outside. Outside, whenever Dashrath Maharaj used to go for hunting, it used to be a secluded place. He used to go, and there both Jatayu and Dashrath Maharaj used to sit and talk. So they used to share. We're good buddies now, good friends. So they used to share each other's goods and bads. That time Dashrath says, very dejected from life. Such a long time. I don't have a son. एक पुत्र नहीं है मुझे. मैं बहुत दुखी हूँ. So as a good friend, Jatayu says, don't worry. हो जाएगा, हो जाएगा. So once Jatayu as a bird, he used to sit from one tree to another, jumping as a bird. So it so happened once he saw few sages. They were none other than the Sanat Kumars, the 4 Kumaras. So the 4 Kumaras were sitting and discussing, and some sage were asking, "Arey, hamara raja ko bacha nahi." And then Sanat Kumar saying, "No, don't worry. Lord himself is going to come as his son. बहुत जल्द भगवान स्वयं उनके पुत्र बन के आएंगे और एक नहीं 4 पुत्र." He becomes very happy for his friend. He goes and tells, hey, I got a news for you, good news for you. Dashrath says, what good news? The good news is you are going to have not one, 4 powerful sons. He doesn't say the first one is going to be God, but he says you're going to have 4 powerful sons. But मुझे एक condition है, good news देने के लिए मुझे एक वादा देना पड़ेगा आपको. You have to promise me. Yes, what promise do you want? You will give me your eldest son to me. You will give your eldest son to me. When Dashrath heard it, he said, ठीक है, 4 बेटा है, एक दे दूंगा. होने तो दो. There are no scope, there's no chance of having any child now. अब क्या करें? So immediately Dashrath Maharaj said, हाँ ठीक है, given eldest son is your son. My eldest son is your son. That is the reason why when Ramchandraji enters Dandakaranya, automatically when he tells, I am Dashrath Nandana, immediately Jatayu says, don't worry, I am like your father. And immediately when Sita was kidnapped, the first person to come to a rescue was Jatayu. And immediately it was a big war, big fight between him and Ravana, and finally he died. And when the fight, when he died, he somehow survived to give this information to Lord Rama that Ravana had kidnapped his wife. And Ramchandraji, what is the kul he is coming from? Raghukul reads Sadacharya, Prana Jaya par Vachan na Jaya. His father has already given a word to Jatayu that my son is your eldest son. So what is the duty of a son? To perform the last rites of his father. And that is the reason why Jatayu performed the last rites of Lord Rama performed the last rites of Jatayu.
Jatayu, that's right, sir.
Lord Rama performed the last rites for Jatayu because it is a duty of a son to do the last rites of his father. It is said he did not do the last rites of Dashrath Maharaj, but he did the last rites for. So Ramayana is very, very intricate, very, very interwoven. We need to understand. People come and ask me, Prabhuji, kaisa possible? Ram, Krishna Bhagwan, ek patni, bhalu. How is it possible? Dashrath Maharaj, friend, Jatayu, bird. Hey Baba, please understand they're great personalities. They're not just small people. And many people just, refute or rebuke Ramayana, saying that this is not possible. This is humanly not possible. This is not possible. From your context, it may not be possible. But however, it is possible from Lord's context. Next week, we'll understand about Vali, how Vali was killed and why Vali was killed and what justification. People talk nonsense about that also. Ramchandraji hid and fired an arrow at him and all that. So we'll understand the reasons behind that also. So